Hello, my name's Elsa Elliott, and I'm the lead minister of Scorpio here at the Temple of Witchcraft. And I'd like to share some information about our ministry with you today. The Scorpio ministry covers the areas of death and dying, grief and bereavement, ancestor veneration, and sacred sexuality. Here I provide a list of specifics about that. We provide companionship to those who are dying by visiting them when we can, which we haven't been able to do since the pandemic started. But we provide pastoral counseling and ritual practices to help with this transition. We also work with the bereaved in terms of pastoral counseling and ritual practices. We provide education about death and grief. We provide services in ancestor veneration and communication. We maintain ancestor altars and such. We also have some education on that. And we provide education and training in sacred sexuality and the traditions of witchcraft. Here's an example of an altar that we may have at a bedside. If we cannot have a flame, we have electric candles we bring along, and we bring along supportive essential oils and things like that, different tools that we can use to provide that support. We also run as part of our education, we run a discussion group on death, and it's called Mortal Musings. It's a free and flowing discussion on topics related to death and death readiness and confronting mortality through the lenses of modern witches and death workers. Danielle Dion and I bring our death positivity and vast resources and information to these discussions to help you navigate questions, emotions, and challenges regarding death. We are providing these online. We hope to be able to add some in person when it is safe to do so. Here's our offerings for 2022. And this picture is from when we were doing death cafes in person with our friend Scully. And he's holding Cerebus, who's a squishy talking stick, and has brought comfort to many who have been having a hard time when they share their questions. We offer ancestor veneration communication. This photo is of the ancestor altar at the Temple of Witchcraft's main offices. In each October, I and Scorpio Ministry collect the names of the beloved dead from who had died since last Samhain. And we finished that collection up on just before the Samhain ritual, so those names can be present on the ancestor altar at the Samhain ritual, and then they are held on this altar pictured for the year. They're also held on an altar in my home so that they receive attention in two places. After Samhain, when we've put the new list on the ancestor altar, the list from the year before is sacredly released in an annual ritual of release. We also provide ancestor altars at temple events. This weekend, I will be having an ancestor altar. You can send me a name that you'd like me to hold on the ancestor altar by sending an email to me at scorpio@templeofwitchcraft.org. We also have recently helped set up a virtual altar on the the Temple of Witchcraft website under the Scorpio banner, which is a place to remember those initiates who have crossed over and joined the ancestors. Here's a picture of the Samhain and ancestor altar from a few years ago when we were in person. Remember back in those days. And here's the ancestor altar from Temple Fest a few years ago. As you can see, we provide a way for people to add names to the ancestor altar with these slips of paper when we're in person. Now we do it by email. We do what we can. We adapt. We also cover the issues of the topic of sacred sexuality. We adhere to the charge of the goddess. Let my worship be within the heart that rejoiceth, for behold, all acts of love and pleasure are my rituals. Our work in sacred sexuality has been a bit on hold because of the pandemic. Providing these sensitive trainings is easier to do in person, and we are looking forward to being able to start those up again. But we are exploring ways to have at least discussion groups. We had something we called Sex Cafe, in alignment with Death Cafe, and we did those at Temple Fests and other events. So we would like to be able to bring those back, but thinking about how to do that online and providing a space so that people can explore and think about how sexuality is sacred and help bring it out of the shadows. So many of our topics are in the shadows, so and other things are hard to talk about. So we work and endeavor to bring them into the light. If anything here is interesting or you have questions, please give me a call. Send me an email, the equivalent of a call these days. Here's my email address, scorpio@templeofwitchcraft.org. And here's a link to our information pages where we provide a list of resources available to you for you to see. And it also shares our mission statement and what our services are. And as I mentioned, the In Memoriam page is linked here. So please check us out and have a wonderful weekend at the rest of Temple Hearth. Take good care. Blessed be.